Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Before and Afterthought with your show, as always, Queen KK. Be sure to hit that follow, that like, that share, the subscribe button on both Instagram and both YouTube. Totally free with support me and my channel that I love doing these podcasts for you guys. I love you guys. Appreciate for all y'all who already subscribe and watch all my podcasts, including this one, my rapping videos, following on the Instagram. I really appreciate it and appreciate it even more for the rest of y'all and introducing, inviting the rest of y'all to come on down, hit that follow, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Go ahead, check out my this and other podcasts, my entertainment, my acting, my rapping video, everything that you can see of me on Queen Krazy K on the video. I'm on the big screen doing my thing. I chuck my chicks up and I do my thing when the big screen be videotaping me, Queen Krazy K. And that's how I do. That's how I read. That's a free thing. I freestyled every single time I came in here. I freestyled every time I doing things, and everybody come in here looking funny here. I jump in the seats that I finished my album and so I put a reset. I put it on the reset, put a reject, put it on the album like a reject. I'm always in the freestyle, I do my thing up in the things. I'm up in the house. Everybody screaming my name, Queen Krazy K. You can watch more things like that. Know what I mean? Uh, so, anyways, you can watch more like that. This is a half an hour podcast to go over what happened in the last past week with Raw, with SmackDown. You got the you got the draft coming up. I think this coming Monday or this coming Friday. I'm not sure which one is gonna start with, but you got the draft coming up. Then you got Bad Bunny to host the Backlash coming up and all these great things. I gave my opinion last time about my opinion in the drafts, but in case y'all haven't seen it or didn't hear it or whatever the situation was, I will go ahead and say right now for my prediction of the draft is I want Roman Reigns, WWE champion, Universal champion, Intercontinental champion, United States champion. He's won the Royal Rumble. He's dominated with the members of the Shield, NXT champion as well. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, acknowledge it. The tribal chief, Roman Reigns, for 3 years undefeated. Universal WWE champion. I pick him to be my first vote in the men's department on Friday Night SmackDown, along with the Souls, the ones, the bloodlines, with or without the championship belts. You see, they're still dominating and running and owning Friday Night SmackDown as they Solo picked up the victory over Matt Riddle, and the Usos and Solo were to dominate after the match was over, putting through a table of Matt Riddle once again, with or without the championship belts, with or without Roman Reigns. The bloodline always rules and dominates like they've been doing for over 4 decades in the WWE. And they're still doing it still today. The Usos looking forward to going to Backlash. I want to see the Usos take back what's theirs to be Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions once again over Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Backlash, like they just showed on Matt Riddle along with Solo. Ain't nobody stepping in the one's way to get exactly what they want and exactly what they need to get, because with or without it, you see they still running it. And then that would bring us to, I think that with that situation, it'll be Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus the Usos. And of course, my money, I want the Usos to walk out Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Backlash. But I think that if Solo gets involved, you can count on Matt Riddle evening up the odds in that situation. And then that'll bring me to the American Nightmare getting his revenge for Brock Lesnar trying to injure him on the shelf, like he did, like yeah, that shoulder injury, that wasn't the cause of Brock Lesnar, but still, he tried to put him back on the shelf. He tried to end his career. He tried to do whatever he can to take whatever dead pieces was left of the American Nightmare. And I want the American Nightmare to get his revenge on Brock Lesnar at Backlash. And then that would bring me to our Rollins champion, Bianca Belair, to remain the EST all day, every day against Io Shirai. I think that match was still the match of the night when she remains it at Backlash, along with the OMG match between Brock Lesnar and the American Nightmare, and of course the Usos, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. That'll be like a classic tag team right there. So that's my predictions for the matches at Backlash. For the confirmed matches, those are my predictions for Backlash to host the Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. Hopefully, him and Rey Mysterio can get his friends on Dominic and Damian Priest. What happened with that situation? Of course, LWO will make to even up the odds. As far as that goes, those are my predictions for Backlash. I had to get that off my chest for the confirmed matches already, since it's coming very soon, come in here in May. And as far as the draft goes, that's coming up before that. Raw and SmackDown, like I said, Roman Reigns would be the first man, along with the Usos, first tag team on SmackDown. And in the women's department, first tag team, Liv Morgan and Raquel as our tag team women's champion, who remained at Asso against Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green in a tag team match. And I think Lita and Becky Lynch should get another opportunity at Backlash for them. And then deal with, but that might not happen at Backlash. And that might not happen at all. Because it seems like they're going to do, I think Big Time Bex on Monday Night Raw is going to challenge Trish Stratus to a match at Backlash for what she did. And then her and Lita focus on the Tag Team Champions Raw after that situation goes. That's my Raw prediction, Big Time Bex returning to Trish Stratus, letting her know, yeah, you know, she is a Hall of Famer. She is a legendary. She is a trailblazer. She did lay out the carpet for everyone to walk on it, to let alone walk to run on it. And she was the first one in history to dominate, to be destructive, to show that there's a women wrestling match besides some stupid bra and panty match, and that they have more potential than a butterfly title to a WWE Championship belt, to hold those tag team titles that they invented and been asking for, to be respected as an individual. Because it doesn't matter if you have a pair of tits or a pair of balls, you're still a human being at the end of the day, and anybody could get hurt. Nobody is invincible. And so, yes, I think Becky Lynch will, she didn't take nothing from Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus is all these great things, but Big Time Bex earned Big Time Bex when she won against Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Champions belt and Raw Women's Champion, making her Becky 2 belts and Ronda Rousey main event at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch did that, not Trish Stratus. Becky Lynch did it by herself. Nobody held her hand. Everybody was doubting her. And then when she showed the whole world that she can show you better than she can tell you, then everybody was like, oh, Big Time Bex now. Big Time Bex that came out the box. Big Time Bex is one of the dominating 4 horsemen with Sasha Banks and Bayley and Charlotte, who built NXT on their backs. Trish and Lita may have built WWE, but Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Charlotte, the 4 horsemen that built NXT. And she's the one that made it there and invented her own Big Time Bex name at WrestleMania. I think I'm one of the few people that was rooting for her at the time. Everybody may be rooting for her now, but everybody was downing her at the time. And it made me so angry, so mad. I was like, you know what? She's going to show everybody better than she can tell. And she did. NXT Women's Champion on top of the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion, dominated Horsewoman. She was one of the the groups when they had the Bella Twins, the PCB, and BAD, one of the dominated women, to create a new generation of female wrestlers in the WWE. She was a part of that as well. And again, she did it without somebody holding her hand. So Big Time Bex has earned her own way here. Big Time Bex has earned her respect. And Big Time Bex is the Irish firing lash kicker, and Big Time Bex will challenge Trish Stratus this coming Monday Night Raw to a Backlash match to finish what Trish Stratus started. And that is my Monday Night Raw opinion. That's my Monday Night Raw prediction based off of last Monday Night Raw result. That is this Monday Night Raw here in 2 days prediction for me. I had to add that in there since I was talking about my prediction for Backlash. That's why I kind of skipped over a little bit. I started in with my draft, but then it brought me to that very moment why that tag team I don't think is going to happen at Backlash. Unless they save it for SummerSlam. have them deal for the tag team. But it almost seems like they're gonna verse that Backlash, and maybe the SummerSlam match will happen with the tag team on championship, or maybe they won't even go for them again. Who knows? So it depends on if we even see Lita this coming Monday Night Raw and what's all like that. Because I think they should do one or the two: Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus for Becky to get her revenge at Backlash, and then Lita to get her revenge at Trish Stratus at SummerSlam. That is already my SummerSlam prediction, let alone when Bad Bunny's in charge of WrestleMania Backlash predictions. And that would bring us to this Monday Night Raw prediction based off the Monday Night Raw results and based off the SmackDown results as well. My SmackDown prediction, all I can say about that is Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle to take on Solo, Jimmy, and Jey Uso in a 3-3 6-man tag team match. Now, they're supposed to do that. I thought they said something about tag titles. Now, I think they should do that 6-man match to settle what's been going on Friday Night SmackDown, then worry about the titles at Backlash. That's my SmackDown prediction. And then, because that's the biggest thing going on right now on SmackDown. One of the biggest things going on right now on SmackDown. And then who would the next challengers be? Like I said, it would most likely be Becky Lynch and Lita. But they got business with Trish right now. So who's going to be Raquel and Liv Morgan's next tag team opponents? Right now, I'm like, if it ain't them and they just beat Chelsea and Sonya Deville, maybe Shanti and Natalia or I would say Tamina and Nia Jax, but I ain't seen them in a while. Nia Jax ain't in the WWE right now, and Tamina, we haven't seen her. So that would be a good match. So all I can think of right now for them is Natalia and Shanti. So that is based on the last SmackDown results. That is my SmackDown prediction. You also have Brian Baker, former NXT champion, on Celtic Warrior workout this week. I think Camilla Haynes, even though he won the championship belt, he's been on a rampage, Brian Baker, just attacking everybody, might have unfinished business. And, not just him, but he attacked Chase, and he attacked Camilla. He's been walking around there just kind of like, I'm going to do what I want, whether anybody likes it or not, whether anybody's satisfied with it or not, which is fine, but it doesn't give you the right to do what you've been doing. Just attack him just because he beat you. So that right there, I don't necessarily agree with that. But I see him coming out the box just wanting to be himself, whether people like it or not. He's dominant, he's destructive, and he's been on a rampage. Brian Baker on the Celtic Warrior Workout Champs, that is helping him be on the rampage of NXT. Whether you like it or not, he's been destroying everybody and being so destructive. It's like watching a whole Brock Lesnar destroy everybody. So dominant, and nobody could do nothing about it. But hope that they aren't the next victim. And then that would give us, speaking of the EST, when I was talking about her with the Rollins champion, speaking of Rampage domination, let's talk about the EST Rollins champion. She was on Cold Ass Balls with Kevin Hart, and she won her match to give against Dakota Kai to give Io Shirai that little symbol that, hey, I'm gonna win this. Now with that situation, I think Bianca's gonna remain Rollins champion against Io Shirai, but then it's gonna cause an altercation. With this coming Monday Night Raw, I think that an altercation is going to happen between Bayley and Damage to show that they might be falling apart, because she didn't seem very fond and very happy that she wasn't the one going for the Rollins Championship belt, even though she's already lost and it's time for somebody else to get opportunity. She didn't seem so happy and so fond about it, and she seemed like, well, I should have got that opportunity. It should be all about me. She didn't really seem supportive of that. So I think that is going to, and like I said, like between It's kind of hard to predict Raw with Backlash and the draft being so close together. You don't even know if Damage Control is going to get split up. You don't even know if the bloodline is going to get split up and what's going to happen, because anything could happen to the WWE, let alone the draft. But I think the bloodline will stick together, and the Usos and Solo will take on Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle in a 3-3 six-man tag team match on Friday Night SmackDown before they get their hands on the titles, with the Usos, the ones, winning it back at Backlash, and Matt Riddle making sure to even up the odds if Solo comes up. I think that's how they're going to settle that, between SmackDown and Backlash being so close, including the draft. Because you have draft, and you got SmackDown, and then you have Backlash. This how you have this last Raw and the draft, and then Backlash. That's why I'm trying to combine them together, because with them being close together, it's kind of hard to determine whether it's going to be on SmackDown or whether it's going to be at Backlash or both, like I said, or whether it's going to be on Raw or the draft. And that, hell, the team might not even be together to do it after the draft. My Monday Night Raw predictions are Rollins champion Bianca Belair, the first ever African American woman to be Raw Women's Champion. And on top of that, the second longest in WWE history. Bianca Belair, our Raw Women's Champion. I think she's going to make history one more again, like she always does, and be the first woman that got inducted on Monday Night Raw for the draft this year. She's the first woman to be chosen on Monday Night Raw this year's draft. And then my men, and then Becky Lynch, I think, would come after her. And then and of course they got to do their rounds and all that, you know how that goes. Well, I think we got 2 rounds before Backlash. Maybe 3 rounds, I think it's round 1 and then round 2. You know how they split it up and be like, this is what we know so far between Raw and SmackDown. And then my men's would be Seth Rollins. I know he was first before on Monday Night Raw, but I think he'll be one of the first men on Monday Night Raw. And the tag team, the Street Profits. You know, so that is my draft prediction and my Monday Night Raw prediction and my other draft prediction, because they're going to do different rounds. SmackDown prediction and Backlash for Raw and SmackDown prediction. And what I thought about the other ones, and like I said, it was on Celtic Warrior. I will show you my videos. Like I said, with Brian Baker on there, and then before that was The Miz. And then you had Zelina Vega. She's good at management. She's been managing LNWO, I think, and she does have an opportunity. I think she'll get that opportunity to verse Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Champion at Backlash, like she was asked for. I think, of course, Rhea would be like, because I've been seeing them verse back and forth, and I was like, there's got to be a match between the two of them, and finally, Zelina Vega will take her on for the SmackDown Women's Champion against Rhea Ripley at Backlash. Was requested, but I think that it will happen, because something's got to give, because they've been fighting back and forth the last couple of weeks, just the two of them. You know, when the LWO tried to get the upper hand because the Judgment Day cheated in the match, when her and Zelina, like, she flipped her for getting in the match and said, you better run, and now Zelina Vega asking for an opportunity. I think Rhea's going to be like, oh yeah, I would love to be bloody freaking Ripley, be SmackDown Women's Champion and wipe the floor with you. And Zelina Vega's going to be like, I would love to make a statement and prove myself at Backlash. That's where you take everything to, with, like I said, with it being so close, that is why she said at Backlash and not on SmackDown. And we have Raquel and Liv Morgan and Sami Zayn beyond the bump. Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Champion, NXT Champion. He's one of the kings of manipulation and mind games. No one does it better than him. You know, he's one of them. You know, premium falling in the category like Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, and Sami Zayn would fall in those categories. They are dominated with the manipulation and the mind games. That is what works and makes them a dominating superstar. and Sami Zayn being on the bump, and Raquel and Liv Morgan, Miss Money in the Bank, SmackDown Women's Champion, being being the baddest bitch on the planet, Ronda Rousey, one half of the tag team women's champion, coming from one of the dominant female teams, from Sarah Logan and Ruby Riott, and then it was Paige, I believe. Well, that was a little bit of Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose. That was two different teams with Absolution, but she was one of the teams that versed them in that category, and now she gets to dominate with Raquel, who's been NXT Women's Champion, who made like the new history of the Horsewoman when Rhea Ripley was the Raw Women's Champion. At the same time, Raquel was NXT Women's Champion. At the same time, our SmackDown Women's Champion was Bianca Belair. There are new generations of NXT and the Horsewomen. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. They created their history as the new three amigos, three musketeers on NXT. And now one half of the tag team women's champion. So I'm going to show you now. Just had to say that and put that out there. Monday Night Raw first. Raw champion Bianca Belair remaining over Dakota Kai, showing she's ready against Io Shirai at Backlash. My first woman pick of Monday Night Raw draft, Bianca Belair. The American Nightmare is our first men's pick of Monday Night Raw, and then Becky and Seth to follow the American Nightmare and Bianca Belair after them, because they're the top superstars. Bianca, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and Becky, they're the top superstars of Monday Night Raw. I think they'll say Trish Stratus in there just because she's a legend. The almighty Bobby Lashley just smashing everybody that gets in his way. Wasn't able to get the United States champion by Lashley and Reed. And that would make me think Bobby Lashley and Reed need to handle this. Bobby Lashley versus Reed in a street fight match on Monday Night Raw, along with Becky Lynch challenge and Trish Stratus to a match at Backlash. And what's going to happen between Bianca and Io Shirai? I think Damage Control is going to fall apart, because Bayley didn't seem so stoked that it wasn't her in the picture. There's so many things that could happen on Monday Night Raw. That's right now my Monday Night Raw prediction, leading to Backlash prediction after with Raw prediction and Raw draft and Backlash, and then after that SummerSlam, and then this would be my SmackDown results. And that'll be SmackDown predictions, SmackDown draft, and Backlash prediction, and then following not even SummerSlam. I think that already for SummerSlam, Lita and Trish Stratus, who broke the record and broke the history for women's wrestling, I think Lita will want her revenge with her and Trish Stratus taking on each other at SummerSlam, because her and Becky will handle at Backlash, and then I think her and Lita definitely should make that history all over again, just so no one forgets it's a new society. So go ahead and do that at SummerSlam. That is my first SummerSlam match prediction already. We haven't even got through Raw and SmackDown and the draft and Backlash, and I'm already thinking about SummerSlam because tickets are already on sale for SummerSlam. It's one of the hottest pay-per-views besides WrestleMania all year round in the wrestling business. And Braun Strowman and Ricochet going for the titles against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens first. And then we'll worry about that 6-man match and that tag team match. That could possibly happen on SmackDown. So that was the SmackDown results. And then last time I didn't get to this, and I promised, and I always keep my promise, always keep my word that I would show it. So here's my CEO rapping video. For those of you who have not seen it yet, This is why you need to watch. This is why you need to like. This is why you need to subscribe and follow on Instagram and YouTube to watch this and more Raw and SmackDown predictions and draft predictions and backlash prediction, even SummerSlam, and to watch this and more podcasts like it. My CEO rapping video. This is the last thing we're gonna do on this podcast, and then I gotta go. But I promise I'll do it. It's a really good video. I just worked so hard on it. It just came to my head. I usually do a freestyle, but it just came to my head, and I think it sounded really good and it looked really good. It was awesome. Back it again. Queen Krazy K up in her room every day, every single night, every single thing. I can't sleep, can't rest, can't feel this and that. Everybody wants to look at this. Let me write it for you. What's going on, man? Yeah. Queen Krazy K. Back it again. Queen Krazy K up in her room every day, every single night, every single thing. I can't sleep, can't rest, can't feel this and that. Everybody wants to look at this, look at the facts. Think of what's going on, man. Right? They don't have no idea what's going on with me. Nothing is in your business that I'm going to say. Hey, out here breaking necks and breaking scores with the lyrics in my beats. They want to copy me. They want to copy my style. They want to copy my beats. They want to copy everything that I do because I'm so neat. They ain't gonna trade that for them with their mouth. They ain't straight for them in the south. Why don't you come up here and tip the east side, the west side, the south? Oh wait, that's right. That's what the south is. I'm from the north, for the Omaha. They say go on the grace. Everybody comes in to the same space. Come talk in the day and taking the bait. They're talking to the thick and the stick. Ain't nobody gonna talk to that fucking the bait. We can find in the real thing. I think that you can place to get on the sick and sick in the head. Sick in the head, then sick in the mouth and the breath. I'm trying to fucking school and down. Everybody hears the thing. Just go put your head down. I come in here and just do anything for the school. I'm coming here and do anything I say. Just keep them fights, keep them keeping the best. Everybody just saying the word about me. I'm doing about you. They're not going to rock. Maybe that ain't true. Maybe that ain't cash. Maybe that's what you think that you want to say. I can do this off beat, off track. I can say what I mean. Say what I say. Just rolled off my tongue and naturally. That's going to me. That's what make me Queen Krazy K. Everything that come out of my mouth is straight true. That everything come out of my mouth is straight true. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's cool. Find something else to do with your life because I'm doing me while you doing you. Stick to what you do and stick to me doing me. I'll do 10, 17 a day. I just rap more fun. I'm used to this and I'm used to K. That's all everyone wanted to do. Everyone wanted to be. I'm doing exactly what I expect. How I tell my mind to be. Ain't nobody gonna come up in here and tell me anything in front. Thinking the second and looking the back twice. I ain't looking back down. I ain't going down like this mouth today. I'll just dance in the third way. I do this every single day, all night. That's what happens when you're in the phone right in the phone. Ain't nobody gonna rock in the green zone. Then it's time to throw the free throw. I do it time, then I make my basketball, then I won't dance while I'm free throw. I'm gonna play down, I'm gonna play down, put your head down, stay down. Anybody going down, then bring down, then they're getting me break down. That's why I'm saying down. That's how I'm going to the case. I think you're south, I don't feel glass, and I'm tapping on the door, I'm busting the glass, but I'm popping the door, not knocking it down. I'm kicking it down, but I'm coming in fast. I'm coming in hard, I ain't stopping down. Anybody can I'm down, then I'm down now. Starting the Queen Krazy K, even after the beat, Queen Krazy K, it's not the Queen, because she described this whole thing. That's me, Queen Krazy K, follow strong on Instagram and YouTube. Kill that shit. All on my level. All on my level. That was hard. That was dominant. I love that. That is my best recent project yet that I've done. And I know y'all guys gonna be having your eyes out. But tonight, it's going down. We're gonna have a rap show tonight. I know many of you guys, with y'all watching, with y'all liking, with y'all sharing, with y'all subscribing on both Instagram and YouTube, with this and more podcasts like it. I appreciate that. As always, it's your Queen Krazy K, who is your host. But with that podcast and my entertainment after with the Raw and SmackDown prediction, driving backlash like I said, with that CEO, my rapping video, more videos, rappings like that, album playlist. Y'all can see my last rap show that I did. With that being said, and my SmackDown, video that y'all saw, the prediction, the results, the video itself, including this podcast that I'm about to post right now. On top of it all, tonight, be sure to have you look out tonight. I'm gonna do another rap show. It's gonna be about like 30 minutes, half an hour. not too long. Just a half an hour little show, little thing. Might go longer. Just depends what happens and how it goes. But that is the key goal. Of course, no time limit on it. But anyways, I'm dropping a rap show tonight. Queen Krazy K is out. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.